in the game.
cases, uncertainty is not just about activating a single number
to the
or a
inside.
single event.
It's Podziemski on the wing.
It's about modeling interdependency,
Here's Mr.
structural
Incredible.
assumptions, and many layer
He gets it to go again.
So
9
as
for
we move
13 so
into more
far.
complex domain, probability assessment often shifts from
He's not about to start showing mercy now.
Well, when it's closing time, he's trying to lock the door. He's been going all
elicitation
night.
towards model-based approaches.
Outside, Williams.
So now we can still do it.
And it's cleared by
using
Stephen
one
Curry.
Probability
The Warriors lead by
density
21.
function.
And let's face it, this one was never really in question. They came out with purpose. It just overwhelmed the opposition. A great win for the Warriors.
And you don't usually see this kind of blowout, but tonight they delivered the punishment.
I mean, what's so impressive is they never wavered in their approach. They just kept adding and showed they were without a doubt the better team.
And this will give them win number 32 on the year so far.
Foundational methods we
Big
covered
time bragging rights won today. Just grabbing that season series.
And when you look at the game, the one thing that helped fuel this team to victory was the efficiency from Mr. Incredible.
Boy, I think you could pick about any area.
So, the assessing probability of a catastrophic nuclear plant failure is
So Golden State takes this one, and by a big margin. Well, this might not have been the most competitive game we've ever seen, but you've got to appreciate their masterful performance.
And I'm sure their fans appreciated it too. We saw the outstanding defense and a loaded offensive effort. They were just dominant out there.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Allie LaForce, Grant Hill.
So what are you going to do with the jersey? Probably hang it up in my practice gym somewhere. You know, I worked hard for this. Hey, good luck the rest of the way, bro. Appreciate it, bro. You too. Stay healthy. Yeah.
They cannot. They're very rarely to be accurate. In real words, we would assess those probability using a risk-based engineering approach, and this is outside the scope of this class. But using the concepts in this class, we could model the causal mechanism and conditional probabilities among the data, along with data and expert judgment, but not by asking someone to price the events through inference lottery. So to illustrate the problem, or with all the potential causes of the catastrophic failure of nuclear plants, we can have this diagram that decomposes the probability distribution. And of course, it's a notional example, and this diagram would be much more complex for a real nuclear power plant. So in this diagram, the final outcome is the catastrophic failure of the nuclear power plant, and that could be caused by either or combination of cooling system failure, control system failure, and pressure vessel failure. And on the next level, or at the lower level, the cooling system failure and the control system failure can be due to the loss of power. And the loss of power can be caused by tsunami, the natural disaster, or terrorist attack. So a terrorist attack can also lead to a pressure vessel failure, but the pressure vessel failure can also be caused by the corrosion. So there are multiple layers, and there is a long chain of causal relationship. Just for the illustration purpose, we will focus on the first four events boxed by the red dashed line. So if we focus on this four events, we call it F, C, T, and W. We can, if we want to find out the probability of the catastrophic failure, then we can list out all the conditions, all the preconditions of that outcome. So in this case, if you want to calculate the probability of failure, then we can identify 4 different scenarios. So we can have the probability of cooling system failure and control system failure, cooling system not failure, and control system failure. Cooling system failure and control system no failure, and both of them are not false. So those are if they are the only 2 possible causes for the catastrophic failure, then we can have this exhaustive list of conditions. Then we can calculate the conditional probability of the catastrophic failure given each of the conditions here. And of course, those failures depend on the power failure. So we can keep writing the equations. Then so we can calculate the probability of both systems fail given the probability of the power failure.
These are the games you have to win to be taken seriously.
The cooling system and control system failure are conditionally dependent, then we can write it out. We can write out the conditional probability as the product of the probabilities. So of course, they estimating the probability of each sub-element here takes a significant amount of effort and time. This example just allows us to know the process of calculating the probability of failure by assessing a set of conditional probabilities. So we are essentially decomposing this very complex scenario into manageable problems. So they are hopefully easier to work with than assessing the final probability all at once. So even though the problem is complex, we try to break the big problem down into smaller ones so that we can approximate the small problem to a single event. So it makes it easier for us to assess the probability for that single event. All right. The next topic I want to cover is the information update. So this is a continuation of the discussion before the break about the Vegas Sports.
This is Kevin,
if you
and if you
recall
claim to
the
be a
example
basketball purist, and Greg, I know you do, one thing you've got to love watching is great ball movement.
Which is something both of these teams take pride in. It's always fun to watch guys be unselfish with the ball and look to make each other better.
And now the Golden State Warriors start in the backcourt. We'll see Curry and Podziemski. Peyton is out there with Butler, and it's Mr. Incredible at the pivot spot.
About hypothesis after observing data and how valuable the new evidence is.
In the middle. Here's
So,
Vanderbilt. And
mathematically,
by Vanderbilt.
if they,
That's a
the
double whammy,
posterior
guys.
probability
That's right.
of
A great defensive play. Then
the first item.
Well, turning defense to
left,
offense, we talk about it
on
all
the
the
left side of the
time.
equation.
Try to hit your
So
opponent at
that's
the
the
other
probability
end
of
before they can set up the
giving
defense.
the evidence. So the H stands for hypothesis
And Hayes kicks to
E
James.
stands for evidence.
Back to Hayes.
And that is
The Warriors pull it
proportional
in.
to
Their last
the
encounter
likelihood
was
of
in the Bay Area.
Well, last time out, they got the win in large part
under,
because of the play
under
of
that
their bench, and they provided a lot of the scoring punch.
Yeah, and you know what? I expect them to go deep into the bench again tonight to give those guys on the bench a chance to have an expanded role, but also to give those starters some rest.
And pass over fire. And then we observe evidence and ask
Yes,
how
it's James picking up
consistent
the
is that
assist.
evidence
Zero
with
hesitation
each
from Reeves that
possible
time. He
hypothesis.
never
So
lacks
here we're going to
confidence.
have one hypothesis,
And one thing the
but we can
Lakers
expand
are
it
so
to
adept at,
multiple hypotheses.
inverting their
So
sets.
and the likelihood captures
it takes a high level of basketball IQ.
Essentially, Bayesian combines the fire and the likelihood to produce a posterior probability.
Whatever the defense gives, that's what he takes. A sign of a
So
skilled offensive
on the
player.
denominator, we have the
Doncic outside.
the sum
He lobs up the alley
the
pass, and Hayes throws it down.
with
Absolutely. The prettiest play in basketball executed to perfection.
I don't think you get an argument there. Everybody loves the alley-oop.
Unless you're the team getting punched on. That would be the difference.
Yes, that goes in.
Wise,
All right,
learning
well, looking at how the
under
hustle game has
so
been
it
going for the Lakers.
provides
They're really
a bridge
racking things
between
up for the
our subjective
opposition, racking up
beliefs and
steal
the objective
after steal,
evidence.
just not
So
letting them
it
develop
allows us
any
to
kind of
refine
offensive
over
rhythm.
decisions.
And you know, another thing that's been
as new
working for them
information
tonight,
becomes
scoring off turnovers, points
So
off
at the
miscues. They've been converting any mistakes
decision
at the other
process
end.
is iterative all the time. We need to reevaluate the scenario
with the two-hand
and
flush.
gather
They're
the
going for the
information to
throw,
update
Now's the time to do it.
perceptions
Keep
and
attacking that
structure.
rim.
Now let's take a look at the top rookies in the
this
league. Our
framework
rankings
is
here for the
particularly
race for
powerful in
Rookie of the
decision-making
Year.
because
Distinction every young player
information
would love to
really
have. Take a look at
arrives
Mr.
all
Incredible.
at once.
Well, he's shown he's a
We
force as we move
often,
along in the meat of the season, sitting
begin
pretty at
with,
that number one spot now, and it's his race to lose.
And this is just a special
not
player. No question he should be favored for the Rookie of the Year award
the
at
most
this
new
point.
data could
I
be
ditto all of that. I mean, it's
Halfway
taken him
down,
only about half a season
market
to show that he's going to be one of the
expert
faces of the
report,
NBA for a long
experimental
time to
money.
come, barring injury.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants.
Oh, you're right. And
make
with the
sure
lead they're enjoying,
the
I'm
updating
surprised he
process is
didn't put a little something extra on that one.
consistent.
Well, I think he did plenty of damage
that's
nonetheless. I mean, it was only with one hand, but he still
So
threw
we
that
will
down
walk
pretty
through,
hard.
this example,
And maybe that'll trigger them
patients
impossible
updating
not to
together.
get pumped up after that.
Yeah, well,
So
you can see the
spend
immediate
a minute
reaction of the guys on the bench. They
the
are
prompt here,
pumped up.
and I will do
And
this
that's
again.
what those alley-oops
but I
will
want
do
you
for a
to,
team.
think
Ignition
about it
switch,
on your own
ignite.
for a minute.
Warriors trail by 5. A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Olber. David.
Hey, Kevin, briefly spoke with J.J. Redick. I asked Coach what the game plan was.
Be a little closer to the basket. That seems to be issues. At least I get like I'm a little too far away. You decide to alley-oop the sister.
All out every second. We want our guys to do the same on D.
Sometimes
It
I get a
won't
little
be
lost
easy.
at guys.
They think they
Seems
found
like
a way to
getting
contain
slowed by
him.
guys.
Imagine that
you,
you
David.
are a doctor
Because it's too
The Lakers
if
making
I
a
like
switch
to
here.
the patient,
what I do.
Chimera's checked
and the
in.
patient plans to have stress
Both
through.
good from the line that time.
So based
When
on
it comes to
your
players who like having
experience,
fun,
your
Jimmy
education,
Butler has to be way up there.
about 20% of patients with Parkinson's have stress
He
through.
looked like he belonged
So
in an
therefore,
emo band
your
with that
fire
hairstyle.
probability
Jimmy
is
is
20%
definitely one of those
or
guys
0.2.
that likes
That's
to
what you
troll
know.
and have fun.
So
Curry
before
outside. Good, and
you
Butler gets
prescribe
the
a
assist.
treatment, I mean,
Honestly, guys,
0.2
Curry
is
is
not
the
very
best
high.
three-point shooter I've
You'd
ever
like
seen.
to be sure, so you order a test,
Reeves outside.
and the
Into the
result
lane.
can happen.
Rebound by Butler.
Wide open, and
But
still
this test
surprisingly
is not very,
wasn't able to cash in.
it could be like a
shot
rapid
goes down and
test.
gets this
So
game
after
back to
pandemic,
even.
we all know how
Oh, and just
rapid
a
tests
soft
work.
touch on both ends of that pretty alley-oop.
I gotta say, when he
So
threw
if
the
I'm
pass,
too far,
I
I
didn't know
just shoot
where
it,
it
but
was
it also
going.
matters on
Neither
who's
did the
going
So the
there.
defense.
So
clinical
gunning for his
results
Here's
show that
Doncic.
when the patient
His
has
last
a
out on
stress
16
stroke,
points
the
for
test
him.
is correct 80% of time, so it's not super high. And the false positive rate is 30%
outside.
of the time.
Back to
So
Doncic.
using
Pass to
the
Hachimura.
patient updating,
Drains the
we
three-pointer.
know that the
Hachimura has
probability
the
of the
ability to
evidence
torch
given
defenses from
hypothesis
deep and
hypothesis
continues
is
to work
0.3,
on this area of
and the
his game.
probability of the evidence
Driving in.
given
And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. And there's certainly an added challenge. Like
applying
in the second game
theorem,
of a
we
back-to-back.
get the
And you always
probability
wonder in
of
that
the
case,
given
could
the
fatigue
evidence
play a role in
that
deciding
has
this
been
game?
positive.
You know,
We
back-to-backs
can
are
have
hard.
0.8 times 0.2.
There's no excuses. Everybody has to play them, so you deal with it and make the most of it.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Vinny comes in for Hayes. And Vincent subbed in for Austin Reed. And then for Golden State, Green, he's checked in for Butler. Jonathan Kuminga comes in for Gary Payton.
And then we
Rudy's
can
up.
calculate the probability of